But this team just need more something. I don't know. Is it Kellen Moore? Is it more offensive play? I don't know. But in this sports world, things happen all the time. You get so many sports bites. So shout out to training camp because you're gonna get sports bites from everywhere. I said something about the Jerry Jones press conference. We may talk about that one tomorrow, or we may do something like talk about why former AP / former Super Bowl runner up is saying that his new offensive coordinator is putting a lot of pressure on him. Some people would say it. There's a clip out there, I went and found it. I scoured through the internet and found this clip of D-Jack calling out a certain offensive coordinator saying, hey, man, I need you to, why am I doing it? And I got the clip. D-Jack, help me out right quick.
I'm a little concerned, and the reason why.
Off on you like that.
No, I mean, honestly, when we talked about it, I want to. I'm gonna take these glasses off. I'm gonna speak to Kellen Moore. Hey, Kellen Moore. I know Philadelphia. You got my boy he's stuttering. I don't usually hear him stuttering like that. Make it condensed for him. The terminology, the plays, we got to be quick. We started 10-1 last year and we failed. We lost about 4 games. So for me, I'm a little concerned. But I know one thing. I know Philadelphia, them fans, they ain't going to allow that. Hey, you better get it right for my boys over there, man, because I know when I say we, my 25-10 partner, hey, we need you to show up and show out, man. So for me, I know my.
Now, a lot happened in that clip. But one thing that is funny is about 2 days ago, I said AJ jumps in the chat after Kevin started something, and he'd be like, who was that? That's my boy. We rep the same smile. And he was like, and we? Man. So basically, if you don't know where that clip came from, it's basically a comment that was someone asked Jalen Hurts at training camp. They was like, hey, man, how you feeling about the offense? And he was just like, look, man, one, we already heard the quote about him saying 95% of our offense is new, but he's also feeling like there's a lot to learn with this new offensive scheme. This is his third OC in, like he said, 10 years because, going back to college. So there's a lot for him to learn going into this season. And Dave, since you the last team that like you all started this, how you feeling about the D-Jack video?
Is this going to create more criticism for Hurts that he can't learn another offense? How many quarterbacks needed the offense to be dumbed down for them? Because that's kind of sort of what he's saying, right?
He said condensed.
Condensed, dumbed down. It's the same thing. Didn't they know this when they hired Kellen Moore that it would be a difficult offense to remember? They knew this though, correct? So why is it becoming an issue now? Why did he not pick up the offensive playbook when they hired him? Did he not ask for it? Don't most quarterbacks or most playmakers do that as soon as they figure out they have a new offensive coordinator? I know I've heard it multiple times before. But I mean, he has a lot of weapons. So are we going to make excuses again this season if it doesn't work out? Saying that the offense is because it's a new offense, he don't know what he's doing and stuff like that, and it's going to take him a while to figure it out, even though he has these weapons. I don't know. I don't really know what to think of this. More so, I just want to see how it plays out on the field. I'm not really going to make any judgment on what D-Jack is saying right now or anything like that, because I want to see I want to see what the offense is going to be like. I want to see how it's going to affect Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and the other guys. And
why I could just hear someone's voice reading that, man. That's the sad part.
That's why I couldn't hold my laugh, man. I couldn't. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this offense is going to look now with Jalen Hurts at quarterback, because he is probably the most, between the two quarterbacks that Kellen Moore has had, I think he's the different of the three. Like if you look at Dak and Justin Herbert, they're more so, and this is not to say that Jalen Hurts is not a thrower of the football, but these guys are more pocket passers than he is. Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts is not necessarily a pocket passer, even though we know he can throw in the pocket. It's just that he does a lot more running and other things outside of just being in the pocket. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. And then what's the effect going to be for Saquon Barkley? Are they going to run the ball more? Because that's not normally what happens with Kellen Moore. He normally throws the ball a lot more. So is it going to be just like last year where Jalen Hurts threw the ball a lot more and he threw a lot of picks, and they ended up going 11-6 in the NFL season? Is that going to happen again where it looks good for the first 10, 11 games and then it just drops off? I think we just got to see exactly what it's going to look like. And that's kind of sort of what I'm feeling right now. We could, of course, control it because, like I said, they're dumbing it down and condensing it for Jalen Hurts. But honestly, I just want to see exactly how it's going to look for the Eagles. I mean, we're not playing this year, so it's not like I could care less. So,
which I'm still upset about because, like, why we gotta play y'all again? Like, here we go again.
You won the division, so
I don't care about that. I don't care about it. We won the division because of outside of I don't know what 4 games he was talking about, but that's why we won the division, because they went on that landslide. I mean, technically, all they had to do was beat the Cardinals. Shout out to AJ for bringing that back up. But one thing I will say is consistency does matter sometimes with some quarterbacks. And I think with this quarterback, he needs consistency because the 2 years where he had Shane Steichen, those were his best years. I mean, in 2021, he threw for 3,100 yards, 16 touchdowns, while rushing for like 784, and he had 10 touchdowns. And then they made the playoffs. I mean, they limped into the playoffs, but they made it. Then you bounce back in 2022. We all know what happened that year. They went to the Super Bowl. He won All-Pro, 3,700 yards, and then 6 interceptions, 22 touchdowns. The tush push was one of the best plays out there going, and then boom, he goes on. Did they fire Shane? No, he moved on. He just moved on. Yeah, he got hired. And then they brought in his friend, his quarterback coach, Brian Johnson. They said this was going to be the next best thing. And then next thing you know, he kind of plummeted a little bit. Oh, one more thing with Shane Steichen too. His QB rating improved from like 78 to 88 all the way up to 102. So that right there shows you consistency is maybe what Jalen Hurts needs. Brian Johnson, you brought in a whole nother scheme. They technically said it was the same scheme as Shane Steichen, and then boom, maybe it was a little bit more. They took away the motion. I don't know what happened there. I really don't know. But with Kellen Moore, I really think his offense is for a pocket passing quarterback. Like, you have to be able to make a lot of reads. He has a lot of option routes within his concepts. Like, that's one of the things that they said Jalen Hurts didn't like about some of those routes back with Brian Johnson. It was like the option route is not a thing. We've seen what happened the year Dak threw the 15 interceptions. There was a lot of option routes, and him and CD just couldn't figure out, is he going left or is he going right? But technically, one thing with Kellen Moore is consistency. He will get you the number one offense. He has done that a few years in Dallas. I mean, everybody wants to go back to the last year he was with Dallas when Dak threw all them interceptions, but technically that offense was still good. Dak just had a bad thumb, in his throwing hand, and then things happen. Kellen Moore, of course, in big games can make the right adjustments here and there. And then you go back to the Chargers. I really don't know what happened with the Chargers. Maybe, again, with Kellen Moore, he wants to throw so much at the quarterback at one time that they're just like, bro, this is too much. You got to slow it down because I can't get all of this in one setting. Maybe that's on Kellen Moore, but it's also on the player too, because this is day 2 of training camp, and you coming out talking about the offense may be a little too difficult. Like, I don't understand that. Joe?
Am I worried? That's a question, right? Am I worried? Nah, I ain't worried. I think Jalen Hurts will be cool, man. All he's saying is this is a little more complicated than I'm used to. Don't forget, every play was a read option for this dude. Not no more, not with Kellen Moore. Y'all know in the last 8 years, going back to college, 10 offensive coordinators. Sorry, 10 play callers, I should say. So the man hasn't really been had a consistent play caller his whole career. It's been a change every single year for real. The only consecutive year he had the same play caller, he went to the Super Bowl. So the type of player and person Jalen Hurts is, he's going to overcome this obstacle that he has right here. And it is something new to him. So I'm not worried about the Eagles offense, because you listen to Saquon Barkley, you listen to A.J. Brown when they talking about the offense, you listen to Devontae Smith, they all like Kellen Moore offense. They actually love it for real. So I think they'll be
receiver. I like it too.
But Saquon Barkley said he loves it too. He said he likes it too.
Okay.
So but the difference, I don't think like Kellen Moore. I mean, I think they'll be straight. I'm predicting the Eagles gonna have one of the top offenses in the league next year. They have the weapons for it. Like you said, in the regular season, Kellen Moore has produced back-to-back number one offenses, right, in the league. So were y'all number one 2 years in a row? Or I know one of them years y'all were. Y'all were number one.
I know they were top 5 for sure both years.
Yeah, in the 1 year, there was number one, like points, yards. It was
the year San Francisco came in Dallas and did what they did. We was definitely the number one offense then.
Broke all the Cowboy records.
Yeah, it's the Eagle segment, man.
Yeah, we're not talking about the Cowboys, but but I do want to say this on air because this was mentioned in the chat. Kev and them said that they can be good with Kellen Moore. This is what they said. For those who's watching, Kevo and AJ are Eagle fans. All right.
And Blaze, don't forget about Blaze. He said he could be good too.
Blaze part of it too. Yeah, he was. They said, this is what they said. They can be good with Kellen Moore. We can't look at what Kellen Moore did in Dallas. This is what they said. Because the reason why Kellen Moore failed in Dallas wasn't because of Kellen Moore. It was because of Dak Prescott. That's what they said. They didn't have the guy who can get it done. So they got the guy who can get it done, apparently. So they should succeed with Kellen Moore. That's all I'm saying. I just want to lay that out there for everybody. And last thing, y'all, this is like kind of off topic. We're still talking about Kellen Moore. What I don't like about Kellen Moore being the coach is the fact that Nick Sirianni is on the hot seat. And he's on a hot seat, but yet he didn't pick Kellen Moore. You know what I mean? Like think about this. If he didn't pick Kellen Moore, right? It was Howie. Howie picked Kellen Moore, and Howie picked the defensive coordinator.
Nick had something to do with that, though.
No, I thought Nick Sirianni had something to do with that. His coordinators all the time.
What? Yeah. Yo, not this time. I thought I read that Howie. They made a decision.
It might be something new. I thought Nick had. Yeah,
that's news to me if that's the case.
No, yeah, starting on that was Nick, but Kellen Moore and what you know what I mean? Like Brian Johnson, that was Nick also, right? But these two guys, like the owner, I think the owner and the Howie has something to do. Like had most say so in that. So I'm like, if you're gonna get fired, you might as well get your people. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
So this is basically an owner and an owner stepping in.
I think it's more so Howie though. It's Howie.
I mean, Howie. You mentioned the owner. That's the only reason I'm
asking. The owner has something to do with that too, though.
But the owner didn't make the decision. It was Howie's decision. That's what I'm saying.
You mentioned the owner. That's the only reason why I said that.
Did I ever say the owner couldn't put his input in? I said the owner can step over the GM and make the decision. That's what I said. Hey, and how about the GM last time I checked, right?
Hey, look. At the end of the day, this sounds like what Mike McCarthy had to deal with when he signed with Dallas. It's like, hey, man, we're going to give you your offensive coordinator and see what happens. I don't know.
We need one of the Eagles to fact check that.
Yeah, nah. I honestly thought Nick Sirianni had something to say, had a say in that. Like he chose his offensive coordinator. I didn't know. That'd be funny. I see Dale. Okay. So Dave, I don't think neither one of us. Are you worried about the Eagles offense after this?
No, I'm not. Right. I'm not worried. I just want to, like I said, I want to see it in play. I won't be worried until I see it in play.
Yeah, same here. I mean, at the end of the day, when you got all those weapons, at least you can improvise. You can improvise your way to some wins. Like that's just, nah. I'm sorry.
I'm not worried about them.
Nah.
I'll be shocked if they fold this year. I'll be shocked.
If they fold, that's a whole nother segment. We ain't even gonna go down that road. If they fold, because a lot of heads gonna roll, especially Nick Sirianni. I mean, going off of what you said, Joe, then they got to be Howie because he picked his offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be mad if Howie got fired, but
I mean, neither.
Neither would I.
I know it's gonna be some Eagle fans in the comments on some y'all would like that. I'm like, anyway.
Yep. Absolutely.
Howie, you can come on down to Dallas. Anyway, speaking of names that won't be spoken on this show, the NFL Top 100 came out, and then they asked, had to do some adjustments. The NFL came out, and they had this interesting clip